What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to Life as an Evertonian. So, Blues, yesterday we had some breaking news, and it was from Dominic Calvert-Lewin himself on his Instagram. And he has sent us a message that it's time for him to get a new challenge, go for a new challenge, discussions with himself and his family, and he feels it's the right time now to move on after 9 years at Everton. Came as a 19-year-old lad for 1.5 million. It's a shame for Everton, really, that he's going on a free because there could have been significant profits made there. But it is what it is. It's time for a change for himself. This has dragged on for quite some time. It's about 18 months to 2 years, to be honest. Um, but it's the right move for him. And it is for Everton. I would have been happy for DCL to stay, but it were about him finding the rich vein of form that he once had. Um, Probably over the last 9 years, he probably only had it really for a good 2 years, especially in the Carlo Ancelotti in the COVID season. I think he scored 16 goals that year. But there's been games where he's been unplayable. I think back to the game, the Merseyside derby a couple of seasons ago. That night, he gave Van Dijk an absolute torrid time where we beat him 2-0. And he is an athlete and he can be a serious, serious threat. Just obviously sometimes in front of goal, he lets himself down. I think sometimes he lacks that composure. The last game of the season where he came on against Newcastle, he missed a sitter, and he's been doing that. Beto came in last season, and David Moyes got a serious tune out of Beto. I think there's a serious player in there who I still feel. We used to rave about Richarlison, but he only come up with 10 or 11 goals a season. I think Beto can do that. I think he can get you between 10 and 15 goals. So we need to get in that market now and bring in a number nine who can potentially hit the ground running. I know obviously we're linked with Barry. He's a young striker from Villarreal, French under 21 international. He sounds very similar to Beto. I've seen a little bit on YouTube. I think Beto needs to work on like his touch, his first touch, his passing. Barry looks very, very similar. But maybe they can complement each other, and you could see potentially Barry adapting as a number 10, or you could play them both up top, or just adding that competition. So we'll see what's going to happen there on that front. Blues, let me know your thoughts. Who do you want to come in? Um, you know, are you happy that DCL has decided to move on? I was on the fence. I've said it in previous videos that I was on the fence. And I think it's because of, the array of players that we need to bring in. That's why I'd be happy now for Michael Keane to sign a new deal. We need to spend money elsewhere on the right hand side. Another striker, possibly a number 10, a predecessor to Idrissa Gana Gueye. I hope Idrissa signs that new deal. We should be hearing that today, whether it's 12 months or 2 years. We do need somebody to come in and just take a little bit of weight off him as well. I personally would like two fullbacks coming in, not just one. I'd like two. I would like Walker Peters, who can play left and right. We definitely need to bring a right back in. Decisions need to be made on Nathan Patterson. There is a lot for us to unfold. We're entering July now. Obviously, I'll be bringing the news, what happens on Michael Keane, Idrissa Gana Gueye, and obviously new signings, new links that are coming in on a weekly basis. So, Blues, let me know your thoughts. Is it the right time for DCL? Obviously, it is. He's made that decision, but let me know your thoughts. Are you happy that he's decided to move on? Are you gutted? Where do you think he'll go? Will he go back to? I've seen links with Leeds. Will he go back to Yorkshire? Can he do a job for Newcastle? Doesn't really matter to us. What matters to us is we bring in somebody I feel who can hit the ground running. I think that's what we need. We need someone who can add that contention, that competitiveness, start getting in the team straight away. We've had the likes of Brozier who've come in, and we've got Schmidt. You know, they've not really been good enough, and I think Everton need to find that. So Blues, yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please feel free to do so. Click that bell to turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Up the toffees.